Morning with Max. Good morning, folks, and welcome to another Morning with Max. It is a dark and stormy day here in beautiful downtown Fairfax, Virginia. As you can hear behind me and around, we are kicking off another week of development on Camelot Unchained, which is now in the first phase of beta called Beta 1. And good morning, Paladin Brewer, Shader Hosta. Shady Rasta, and St. Pam. I'm echoing, says Shady Rasta. You might have me open twice. I shouldn't be echoing from my end. Anybody else having that problem? And you probably got me open in two tabs, Shady Rasta. Good morning, Trucinix. Yep, I thought so. Shady Rasta. Hello there, Zube. How's it going today, folks?
Yes, let's do that. Although, just make sure someone who's not in the conference room knows to knock on the conference room door when Lee gets in.
I think everyone just heard that.
Can I listen?
Yes. Good afternoon or good morning from here, Svarni. Happy Monday to you, Denarian. Savardi says you look quite tired. Well, that would make sense. I have a newborn at home. Halloween. I just got here, and for a minute I thought the sound wasn't working. Why is that? Because I wasn't talking? Excuse me. Grimslag, good morning. And thank you, St. Pam. Hello, Kick Assassins. Right, Shady Rasta, 2-month-old husky. Paladin Brewer notices, hey, you guys clean up over there. Indeed. Indeed. The computer graveyard has been... Excuse me, a real frog in my throat. The pile of stuff has been cleaned up. Halloween, will the office be open this Friday, or will it close if the hurricane track is too close? Well, I'm sure if we're having an active hurricane on some day this week, we might not be driving into the office. Hey there, Yomi. What have you heard, John?
It's projected to hit North Carolina. It was South Carolina, but they changed it.
Getting closer to us.
Yeah, they say there could be a chance it might stall or just holds, in one place.
Right.
And, so far, Virginia declared a state of emergency on it as well.
Yeah, our governor declared a state of emergency. So they could mobilize more resources in case the hurricane hits us.
Get your flashlights ready.
Right. Slipping on ice is pretty scary, Svarty. It's alright, Trucinex. Sivius, I'm going to need you guys to stay streaming through this. I don't watch the Weather Channel.
Well, we're like right on the edge of the hitting, so it might not really get us that bad.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like, their projections are just kind of...
It seems really unpredictable around this area, too.
Aren't these great? Awesome job.
Max here, broadcasting from the heart of the Veilstorm. That'd be pretty fun, actually. When we've had some thunderstorms, it would be pretty fun to do something like that. Yomi, so I didn't manage to get all of those Becoming Stories read. Like I promised, I'm a failure. Well, if you had, then I would have felt like there were too few, so there's a lot of them. Fear My Pain, when will this game be released? We haven't announced a release date. We are currently in the first phase of beta, called Beta 1, which recently launched. Yomi, I was finishing up the Picts story yesterday, though. I really liked their theme with their tattoos, though. Nice. I think Mark wrote the opening of that. Something like that. Then I wrote the rest, something like that. Too much magic powers. Oh, so we've attracted a Veilstorm kick assassins. Right, Salty Jew. Hopefully sooner than that. Shani Rasta, any idea how large the final map will be compared to the islands we have now? I don't know, but I know that it will be large. And the islands aren't going away. I don't know if that's clear, but you know, it's going to be a large map with many islands. Lottoween has a quote from MJ. On that subject. Yomi. Also, the ending of the Golem's Becoming story made a reference to the little falcon that nests above the Silent Gate. Now that I'm reading the Pict story, there is some mention about falcons and nests. Without spoiling, will the reader be able to ascertain the identity of the narrator from the Golem story by reading the Pict story? No, that is you're barking up the wrong tree there. But nice little nice that you noticed that little detail, Yomi GW. Only one person has correctly guessed to me, the identity of the narrator from the Golem story. I actually don't remember who it was right now. It's not. I'm sure it's somewhere in the archived files in my brain, but no, there's the Special Falcon from the Pict story, which I think Mark wrote part 1 and I wrote part 2, and or rewrote part 1 and then wrote part 2. But nope, the reference in Golems is a different research route to discover. Lotoween, as Max said, many islands will exist, so quite large. There you go. Joey says rest in peace. No, that was a good idea, but not quite right. John. John's answering a question about pauldrons. I wouldn't say quote, more like a potentially erroneous recollection of a potential statement. Well, he said potential twice in the same sentence. Dressed is the name of the Special Falcon connected to the main character in the Pict's story. That's what Lotoween. I seem to remember him saying something like that to Lotoween. I just couldn't remember the exact quote, so. Yomi, this may not be a question for you, but do you know if the Picts will have a racial ability, assuming we do have racial abilities, akin to camouflage? Well, all I can do is point you toward the the short description of the Picts on the website and the Becoming story, which is, I'm sure, why you're asking that question. I believe they will have something, yes, but it's not really the right question to ask me, because it's Mark's idea and design. But I'm sure they're going to have something. I don't know what. Everybody wants to know my height. Everyone's like weirded out, John, because I said I was a different height than they thought I was.
Oh, really? What did they think you were?
They thought I was really tall. Well over 6 feet. But I'm not.
Everyone's guessing now.
I know. 5'7" isn't short. I know. Hey, some of the people in the Seattle office are shorter than I am. And lots of the ladies here are petite. No, I didn't think I was well over 6 feet, Kick Assassins. People thought I was 6 feet tall, which I'm not. Maybe this is something you might be able to answer, asks Yomi. Is it likely that racial abilities will be a lore-driving gameplay situation or gameplay-driving lore situation? I'd like to think the former, since there are already so much written lore-wise concerning the races. They influence each other, Yomi. They really do. Yeah. Mark will design something and then sort of write like a lore prompt, and then I'll write a lore story that has to do, that is based out of that game mechanic idea. And then, later on, maybe Ben will ask me, hey, do you have a lore story for such and such? And then take a little bit of maybe some inspiration from it, although it's not... I don't design the game mechanics, but they influence each other. It's all happening at the same time. Wouldn't that be amazing, Yomi? I'd like to imagine golems having an ability where they can turn into inanimate objects like walls or stairs akin to their snippets. From their becoming story. Yeah. Well, keep in mind that, those are lore stories from ancient times and may or may not be fully reflected in game mechanics. A lot of weeds. So you're not going to submit to our simple request. You put on all these goofy articles of clothing and people send you, wouldn't even stand up for us. Fine. I know, right? John just said dance, monkey dance.
We need a banana for scale.
I know. Like, what are we even comparing this to?
Here.
No, don't rank as banana. All right, banana for scale.
Oh, it's shrunk.
That'll make me look bigger.
There you go.
Thanks, Mike. I won't bruise your banana. Like John did.
You have to be careful. Not bruise Mike's banana.
Yeah. I am 5'7". And now we need to line up the entire office, from tallest to smallest.
Did you watch Next Gen yet?
Next Generation.
On Netflix. Look like big rigs.
Form shield wall. That actually would be a great photo, wouldn't it, Svarty? But we'd have to have round shields for everybody.
Oh no, I haven't. Is it good? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it last night. It's good. The main character chick.
Hi, Strike.
The visuals are amazing.
Oh really? Shit, I'm gonna watch it.
It's got a bunch of
Lonnie was going to set up the banana club.
I'm not getting back the fuck up.
yeah.
Oh, dear.
It's a good watch. I'd rewatch it.
Would probably be a healthier
It was like, I
snack
didn't know if it was like kind of like a copy
than
of the other one.
whatever junk food we get.
Yeah, the big balloon thing, that was glorious.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Picts are
You know, kind
Arthurian.
of like Transmorphers.
That's pretty good. It's made by a Canadian.
Yeah, Yomi, who should I ask about the design for Banes and Boons? You would ask Ben that kind of question.
On Twitch is actually she modeled a bunch of these.
There's Bull hunting something with his Nerf gun.
The design is cute. Yeah, no, definitely. I
No,
watched the
like,
Trolls one. Is really good.
Everything in this movie is a robot. Even their little cups of ramen noodles, they're like little robots.
That's so cute.
It's cute.
No, I need to check that out. I watched the. I thought it
I like
also reminded me of
Trolls.
the Trolls one. The Trolls one I thought was pretty cute.
Yeah, that one was fun. I think Trolls came out the same time.
Yeah, Nerf gun warfare. We haven't had a real Nerf war in a long time. Ben uses Nerf bullets to get people's attention.
Series on Netflix,
Sometimes.
about, like, the
That's kind of what they're used for around the office by everybody, actually.
It's Del Toro is involved in it.
We have some Nerf swords, but those are disappointing.
Just put Del Toro.
We have some
Del
awesome,
Toro.
metal swords. I don't know if you can see that one. Yeah, it's hung up on the wall now. On the other side of that
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
pole,
Del Toro's involved
that
in that series,
pillar,
and it's
is
really good.
a
It's pretty good.
metal shield with the CSE logo on it that a awesome backer made.
It's on Netflix and stuff.
Kick Assassins, how's the board game coming along? It's coming along great. I recently wrote up some game instructions so that I could get it tested by other people, without me there to explain the rules. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to get some feedback
He kind of finds like a
on that.
power and armor to him, and it's kind of hilarious.
But it's going well.
It reminds me of
Yeah, kind of.
Let's
It's
see.
just a lot of fun, concept work.
That's right, Svarty. But this realm of the Arthur. Nice, Bull.
I do love you, Del Toro. Of course, you're gonna put fucking squirrels in here too. He loves that ingrained, where you put that way you put the squirrel and shit.
Yomi, you're asking me a specific question about MJ's specific plans
Yeah, they're
for the lore in the distant future. I couldn't possibly know the answer to that. Well, maybe if you read the Picked Becoming story, you start to feel a little bit more. You start to understand how they fit in a little bit better. I hope. Strike, will you do another episode where you read lore? I think I've read aloud all the lore at this point. Except for, stuff that, is still unfinished or in need of a rewrite. I don't think there is any more lore to read, except I'd just be repeating it. I could do it again, but it seems unnecessary.
Dave, editors need to fill at this point.
it would be kind of associated with it, kind of like your sheet.
Strike, oh really? Time to check out the archive. Yeah, there's a playlist on our YouTube channel. It's called Lore Read Aloud. The episodes are all out of order because of how YouTube adds them to the playlist.
I don't know.
But there's it's all there. Lore Read Aloud, I think, is the name of the playlist.
Would it be categorized as a weapon or an armor?
Mark came up with that idea. Yomi wrote that originally.
I think towards the actual item and arrows.
Man, this frog
It's a
in my
sheet.
throat. It's not going away.
Do you want me to
Halloween, out of order as in not in lore order or published order. Not in any kind of order that makes sense.
I just talked with George.
Strike, the office looks so empty. There's a couple people that are sick. And with this storm bearing down on us, I think that's having an effect. It's dark and stormy outside, even though on the camera, because it does the light adjustment, it looks very bright through the windows. It's actually quite dark.
Ominous.
Well, we're waiting for the Veilstorm to hit. Okay, Assassins, doesn't matter if you listen to lore and order. Well, it does if the stories, because the stories have multiple parts. So part 1, part 2, part 3, you kind of do need to listen to that in order. But you have to kind of like look around in the playlist. When I get some free time, maybe I'll go and fix that. Just go in and reorganize the lore playlist. You can read the Becoming stories in any order, but as I said, there's multiple parts. Yummy. So, like the Great Depths raid, you don't want to go part 7, part 1, part 12. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Halloween, it can help to choose the stories in a certain order. Some give background that will help others. That's true, Halloween, actually. Because some of the, all the Becoming stories, respectively can kind of stand on their own. I'd like them to be able to. But it's probably true that just because, they were written in a certain order and things about the general lore of Camelot Unchained were developed at certain times. So it probably, whether we like it or not, is easier to read them in a certain order than another. I'm glad you think they can all stand alone, Ludwig. Protest the bread. Been a while since I've been able to catch a morning with Max. Well, you've got me for 2 minutes. Protest the bread. What bread are you protesting? You anti-baguette? Or are you pro-rye? That's a funny question, Strike. Halloween, but the becoming of the world is so critical to understand the whole setting, and that is in just a couple of them. True. But there is the landing page on the lore site that kind of gives that general background. I wrote that a long time ago. Protest the bread is a play on words with gluten-free. Protest. Oh, like... Yummy, he's pro-wheat terriot. I like that. So, like, free the gluten. Protest the bread. Well, it is about time for me to wrap up this morning with Max. Thank you all very, very much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. I love chatting with you all. I hope I was able to answer some of those lore questions, Yomi and others. As far as I've heard, Halloween, the test went well. Keep a lookout for more emails about more tests this week. I'm sure we'll be having some. Okay. I will see you later. I will try and mention it, on the Discord if any streams pop up this week. Right now we don't really have any plans until Friday, our usual Friday thing. Other than that, I will see you on Discord, and I will see you later. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Morning with Max.